Forgiveness is often perceived as a deliberate and conscious decision to release feelings of resentment or vengeance toward a person or group who has harmed you, regardless of whether they actually deserve forgiveness. It does not necessarily mean forgetting, condoning, or excusing the offense, but rather choosing to let go of negative feelings and moving toward peace and understanding. This concept is essential in the context of the art of forgiveness, stories of redemption and reconciliation, as it sets the foundation for exploring how individuals and communities can overcome past grievances and foster healing and unity. The significance of understanding forgiveness lies in its transformative power. It is a crucial step in the journey toward redemption and reconciliation, allowing people to break free from the shackles of bitterness and anger. For example, in South Africa, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission facilitated national healing by encouraging victims and perpetrators of apartheid-related crimes to engage in dialogue and forgiveness. This process helped mend a fractured nation and provided a blueprint for addressing systemic injustices worldwide. Another poignant illustration is the story of the Amish community in Nickel Mines, Pennsylvania, who chose to forgive the gunman who killed several of their children in a school shooting in 2006. Their decision to forgive and embrace the perpetrator's family exemplifies extraordinary grace and highlights forgiveness's profound impact on reconciliation. Supporters of forgiveness argue that it is a necessary virtue for personal well-being and societal harmony. Psychological studies suggest that those who forgive can experience greater mental health, lower stress levels, and enhanced relationships. However, the journey to forgiveness is fraught with challenges and controversies. Some critics argue it may not be appropriate in all situations, particularly when it involves perpetrators who show no remorse or when forgiveness undermines justice and accountability. Additionally, the expectations for forgiveness can vary across cultural and individual differences, suggesting alternative viewpoints that prioritize justice over reconciliation. Understanding forgiveness is intricately connected to redemption and reconciliation, influencing how these elements are practiced and perceived. It invites individuals to embark on a redemptive journey that not only liberates them from the burdens of the past, but also paves the way for reconciliation. By exploring stories of forgiveness, we gain valuable insights into the human capacity for empathy, humility, and healing, reinforcing the idea that forgiveness is not just a personal choice, but a path to collective peace. The concept of historical and cultural perspectives on forgiveness involves understanding how forgiveness has been perceived and practiced across different eras and societies. At its core, forgiveness is the act of letting go of resentment or vengeance towards someone who has wronged you. This concept has evolved significantly, influenced by historical contexts and cultural nuances, often dictating social harmony and personal healing. Forgiveness holds immense significance in stories of redemption and reconciliation. In historical contexts, it has served as a mechanism to restore peace and order. Cultures with strong communal values often emphasize collective reconciliation over individual grievances. For example, in post-apartheid South Africa, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission provided a platform for victims and perpetrators to publicly reconcile, highlighting forgiveness as crucial for national healing and unity. Similarly, in Rwanda, the Gacaca courts facilitated community-based justice and reconciliation after the genocide, emphasizing the transformative power of forgiveness in rebuilding societal trust and cohesion. The importance of forgiveness is further underscored by psychological studies showing its health benefits. Forgiveness can reduce stress and anxiety, leading to improved mental and physical well-being. Experts like Dr. Fred Luskin, director of the Stanford Forgiveness Project, advocate that forgiveness should be recognized not just for its moral implications, but for its profound impact on personal growth and societal progress. However, the concept of forgiveness is not without challenges and controversies. Critics argue that forgiveness can sometimes be perceived as excusing or justifying wrongdoing, potentially undermining justice. In certain cultures, traditional practices emphasize honor and retribution, which can clash with ideas of forgiveness. Some individuals may struggle with the emotional complexity of forgiveness, finding it difficult to reconcile their feelings of hurt with the expectation to forgive. Despite these challenges, the concept of forgiveness remains deeply interconnected with redemption and reconciliation. Forgiveness facilitates personal redemption by allowing individuals to release the burdens of anger and resentment, achieving a sense of peace. On a broader scale, cultural narratives around forgiveness contribute to its acceptance and application, influencing how communities and individuals approach conflict resolution and personal relationships. Understanding these historical and cultural perspectives enriches our appreciation of forgiveness as both a timeless human virtue and a practical tool for resolving conflict and fostering understanding. It invites audiences to reflect on how forgiveness is practiced in their own lives and encourages a dialogue on its role in healing and growth. The concept of psychological stages of forgiveness refers to the nuanced and often nonlinear process individuals undergo as they work towards forgiving others or themselves. This process can be broken down into several stages, typically beginning with recognition of the hurt or wrongdoing, then moving through feelings of anger or resentment, and finally arriving at acceptance and possibly reconciliation. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing the harm done, but involves acknowledging the pain, releasing grudges, and choosing to move forward. This concept is significant to the main topic, the art of forgiveness, stories of redemption and reconciliation, as it frames forgiveness not as a simple decision, but as a complex emotional journey. Understanding these stages helps people recognize their own feelings and navigate them, contributing to healthier relationships and personal well-being. Forgiveness, especially in the context of redemption and reconciliation, promotes healing by breaking the cycle of resentment and enabling individuals to foster empathy and understanding. For instance, consider the real-world example of Nelson Mandela. After spending 27 years imprisoned, Mandela emerged not with bitterness, but with a commitment to reconciliation. His forgiveness helped South Africa transition peacefully from apartheid, showcasing the transformative power of forgiveness on a societal scale. Another example involves family conflicts, such as siblings who have been estranged due to past grievances. By working through the psychological stages of forgiveness, they can mend their relationship, unite the family, and find personal peace. Opinions supporting this idea highlight that forgiving can lead to lower stress levels and better mental health. Psychologists agree that letting go of grudges reduces anxiety and depression, illustrating the profound impact forgiveness can have on an individual's life. However, this concept is not without challenges and controversies. Critics argue that forgiveness might be seen as condoning or minimizing the offense, thus potentially perpetuating abusive behavior. Additionally, individuals might struggle with cultural or personal beliefs that equate forgiveness with weakness, complicating their ability to move through these stages. In relation to the broader topic, the psychological stages of forgiveness influence stories of redemption and reconciliation by providing a roadmap for personal and collective healing. This understanding facilitates the rebuilding of trust in relationships, essential to redemption narratives. It underscores that forgiveness is an art, requiring patience, emotional intelligence, and a willingness to confront pain, ultimately enriching the broader tapestry of human connections and societal healing. Stories of personal redemption are narratives that illustrate an individual's journey from a place of wrongdoing, mistake, or moral failure to a state of renewal and transformation. This concept is a cornerstone of the broader discussion on the art of forgiveness, as it underscores the power of personal change as a pathway to reconciliation. Personal redemption often involves introspection, acknowledgement of one's past actions, and a commitment to personal growth and change. It is significant because it exemplifies the potential for individuals to evolve beyond their past, providing hope and inspiration that change is possible. To illustrate, consider the story of Jean Valjean from Victor Hugo's Les Miserables. After serving time for a minor theft, Valjean transforms his life, becoming a benevolent and influential figure, embodying personal redemption through the acts of kindness and leadership. Another real-world example is that of Malala Yousafzai, whose life story could be seen as a form of redemption in the face of violence. After surviving an assassination attempt, she undertook a journey of advocacy and empowerment, promoting education and peace. Supporters of the concept of personal redemption argue that it is a fundamental component of human nature and societal progress. Redemption narratives often demonstrate resilience and can foster empathy, illustrating that people are more than their mistakes. However, the process of redemption is not without challenges or controversies. For instance, societal stigma can hinder one's journey to redemption, with past actions sometimes overshadowing efforts for change. Moreover, the question of whether all actions are forgivable remains a contentious issue, challenging the boundaries of personal and societal forgiveness. Some argue that emphasizing personal redemption might, at times, minimize the impact of past wrongs on victims, suggesting a need for balance where accountability and redemption coexist. Despite these challenges, personal redemption inherently connects to themes of reconciliation and societal forgiveness. By highlighting individual transformation, these stories advocate for a compassionate approach to human fallibility, ultimately influencing broader cultural perceptions of forgiveness. In conclusion, personal redemption plays a pivotal role in the art of forgiveness, demonstrating that individuals are capable of profound growth and change. These narratives not only inspire but also question and expand our understanding of forgiveness, emphasizing its transformative potential not just on an individual level but within relationships and communities at large.